After 20 years. The story written by O.Henry is a thriller, suspense. This is the story which millions of people love to hear again and again, the story of friendship. The story of responsibility. O.Henry is famous for his last-minute twist. Hold your breath and enjoy. Just imagine, you are meeting your close friend after long 20 years. What will be your state of mind? You are complete unaware, how destiny changed him in these 20 years. Then the cop suddenly slowed his walk, walking towards a door of a dark shop, where a man was standing.
It's all right, officer. I'm waiting for a friend. 20 years ago we agreed to meet here tonight. It sounds strange to you, doesn't it? I'll explain if you want to be sure that everything's all right. About 20 years ago there was a restaurant where this shop stands. Big Joe, Brady's restaurant.
It was here until 5 years ago.
The man near the door lit the cigar in his hand. Because of the light of the lighter, the cop was able to have a little look of the stranger's face, a colorless square face with bright eyes, and a slight scar near his right eye. He had a large jewel in his necktie.
20 years ago tonight, I had a dinner here with Jimmy Wells. He was my best friend and the best fellow in the world. He and I grew up together here in New York, like two brothers. I was 18 and Jimmy was 20. The next morning I was going to start my journey for the West. I was going to find a job and make a great success. You couldn't have pulled Jimmy out of New York. He thought it was the only place on earth. We agreed that night that we would meet here again after 20 years.
Sounds interesting. A long time since meetings. Have you heard from your friend since you left for the West?
Yes, for a time we did write to each other, but after a year or two, we stopped. The West is big, I moved around everywhere, and I moved quickly. But I know that Jimmy will meet me here if he can. He was as true man as any man in the world. He'll never forget. I came 1,000 miles to stand here tonight. I'll be really glad, if my old friend
The
comes.
man took out a fine watch, covered with small jewels.
3 minutes before 10, it was 10 that night when we said goodbye here at the restaurant door.
You were successful in the West, weren't you?
I surely was. I hope Jimmy has done half as well. He was a slow mover. I've had to fight for my success. In New York a man doesn't change much. In the West you learn how to fight for what you get.
I'll go on my way. I hope your friend comes all right. If he isn't here at 10, are you going to leave?
Man, I am not. I'll wait half an hour, at least. If Jimmy is alive on Earth, he'll be here by the time. Good night, officer.
Good night.
About 20 minutes he waited, and then a tall man in a long coat came hurrying across the street. He went directly to the waiting man.
Is that you, Bob?
Is that you, Jimmy Wells?
It's Bob. It surely is. I was certain I would find you here if you were still alive. 20 years is a long time. The old restaurant is gone, Bob. I wish it were here, so that we could have another dinner in it. Has the West been good to you?
It gave me everything I asked for. You've changed, Jimmy. I never thought you were so tall.
Oh, I grew a little after I was 20. Are you doing well in New York, Jimmy?
Well enough. I work for the city. Come on, Bob, we'll go to a place I know, and have a good long talk about old times.
The two men started along the street, arm in arm. The man from the West was beginning to tell the story of his life. The other, with his coat up to his ears, listened with interest. At the corner stood a shop bright with electric lights. When they came near, each turned to look at the other's face. The man from the West stopped suddenly and pulled his arm away.
Not Jimmy Wells. 20 years is a long time, but not long enough to change the shape of a man's nose.
It sometimes changes a good man into a bad one. You've been under arrest since 10 minutes, Bob. Chicago cops thought you might be coming to New York. They told us to watch for you. Are you coming with me quietly? That's wise, but first here is something I was asked to give you. You may read it here at the window. It's from a cop named Wells.
The man from the west opened the little piece of paper. His hand began to shake a little as he read.
Bob, I was at the place on time. I saw the face of the man wanted by Chicago cops. I didn't want to arrest you myself. So I went and got another cop and sent him to do the job. Jimmy.
Hope you enjoyed this story. Please do comment in the comments section. Thank you.